Oh my gosh, look at that. No clue what that is. Hey. Guess what, guys? It looks like we're on the air. Can everybody hear me okay? Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Hey, can everybody see chat? Listen, I'm going to have a hard time tonight seeing chat, but we're rocking and rolling. Hi, Spa Diva. Hi, Michelle Ann. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Athena. It's so good to see you tonight. Oh my goodness, we all made it. We survived the last 3 weeks. And guess what? Easter, Passion Tide, it's all good. I have got a bit of a mess behind me, and I am really just basically kind of winging it tonight because guess what? You guys are going to laugh. I mean, I'm not the tech geek of the household, okay, guys? I am so not the tech geek. So it's just us tonight, all right, everyone? So it's the real deals, and we are coming at you live from Springfield. And tonight's show, hey Tony, how you doing? We're coming live from Springfield. It's a little soggy here. We got some technical issues, so it's like we're kind of condensing, folks. And sorry about the whole mess, but we're gonna polish it off the details. Yeah, we've missed you guys horribly, horribly, horribly. Let me tell you, we have missed you guys so much. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody give me a thumbs up? I got a bunch of people in chat, but I would love it if you give me a thumbs up because that way I know you're listening. And also, when you click the thumbnail and say, yes, it's all good, you know what? We're going to get through this, and I know that everybody's with me. I got one thumbs up. Can I get another thumbs up? And if you have, thank you, Athena. Thank you, Carolyn. If I get a thumbs up, I know the sound sounds good and I know everything's going great. So I'm just trying to adjust my camera because I am not technologically savvy, but I promise, you know what? Hopefully by next week we'll get things up and running. So we're going to start our real deal show. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles tonight, kids. It's just we're going to talk about infested, haunted items, and where you might get them, where you might see them, that sort of thing. So hang on. We have to start the show with what? We have to start the show with our St. Michael prayer because we always ask him for his intercession. So everybody just give me a second here and we're going to pray ourselves in. In nomine Patri et Filio et Spiritus Sanctus, sic erat et principio et nunc et semper et saecula saeculorum. Amen. Sanctum Michael Arcangele, defende nos in prelio, contra nequitiam et insidiis diaboli est presidium. Imperire Deus, supplices de peccamer tuque, princeps maletia celestis satana maliosque, spiritus malignos qui ad perditionem animarum pervegantro in mundo divina, in virtute de Amen. Amen. Hey. Hi, Colin. Good to see you. Hi, Dawn. You guys are so cute. Thank you so much. Thank you guys all so much. Hi, Sean. Yes, Sancta Michael Arcangele. He's our guy. Well, before I start the show, I wanted to let you know, due to technical difficulties, I couldn't call Deb, although Deb's going to hang out. She's going to help me in chat tonight. And due to mega technical difficulties, I have to share with you something very personal tonight, you guys. And we haven't blasted it on Facebook or anything, basically because this is something that I wanted to share first with you all, our fans, the people that love us, the people that hang out with us, the people that stretch and grow with us. You guys pray with us, and we love you to pieces. So sit down. If you've got a cup of coffee, just don't drink yet, because what I got to tell you, it's a little tough for me too. Okay, guys? All right? Try to get my breath, all right? Over a short period of time ago, Ken suffered a massive stroke, okay? Sorry about the tears, but he suffered a major stroke, okay? And if anybody knows anything about strokes, it takes a while to heal. He's not out of the ring yet, kids, okay? His boxing gloves are on, and I've got double the boxing gloves. So, I'm telling you, Dawn, right now, Ken, it's going to be a while before he can come back to the show, all right? If anybody knows anything about stroke, it affects different people differently. Yes, Stephen Foster, Ken has had a bad stroke. He will not be with us for a while. It takes a while to heal from these things. I know, Carolyn, I'm trying not to cry because, you know, what can you do? I mean, it's like this, you guys, people, you guys out there on YouTube, you are our ministry. You're the light that like carries us and pushes us forward, okay? And, you know, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So he loves you all so much. He's one of the most holy men I have ever met in my life, and he's fighting so hard, okay? So before I get the show started, I have to ask you all, I need you all to fight with me. I need you all to fight with us. We always have to take our battle right where it sits. All right? We are souls wearing flesh. And this battle is in principalities and powers. Yes, Sean, I will give you a funny. My joke with Ken is, okay, honey, you've had this priest and this priest and this priest. You've even had a bishop, okay? I can't call Cardinal Burke, so you're just going to have to deal with it, okay, babe? Sorry, little bit of funny. Yes, please, Diane, please. I am asking every single one of you, if you are watching, if you are listening, I need you to pray for this man that gives so many people hope. And he gives so many people his whole heart and his whole being, okay? And, oh, merciful heavens, he loves everybody. And there's nothing he wouldn't do for anybody. I don't care if you're standing in line at a grocery store or if you're calling him saying, you know, my wife's going to leave me. This man is there for you, okay? So everybody, please, tonight before you go to bed, if you can pray, if you want to pray more, I have somebody who has been a big blessing. I promise I will. I promise I will, Nikki, and I promise, Steve, I will take your prayers to him. I don't want to cry too loud. I don't want to upset everybody. So if you want to do more, this is what it's like to be a Christian. We pick up our cross and we deal with it, okay? We pick up our cross and we keep carrying. We sit right there at the foot of the cross with Mary. We hold her hand, we hold the apostles' hands, and we wait upon the passion of Christ to illuminate our days in life. Yes, 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 Chris and Kim, thank you so much. He is going to be okay because I believe in miracles. And I don't want anybody thinking that, you know, we've had cases, but we haven't had anything too serious. And like I said, he's been blessed 6 ways to Sunday, twice on Monday, and 3 times on Wednesday. Okay, I excuse the humor, but he's getting blessed, appointed, anointed. He is totally just like, he's in God's hands. Trust me, he really is. And I know he can't wait to get back here. So Ken's last name is Deal, Sean, and please, yes, he's getting the Divine Mercy prayers, yes. And if you'd like to do more, if you'd like to pray more, there's a group that will be forming. And I'm not quite sure I understand this, but if you'd like to contact me, you can contact me, you know, send me a message here. I'm not the tech guy, so I'm like bumbling along here at Facebook. And I don't want to take all our time up talking about this, all right, kids? Because we got a lot to get through tonight. The group is being formed via, she's just one of the most holy people I know. She's, you know, a mother, she's a spiritual warrior, and she gets these people, and everybody chooses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thank you, Steve. I will give you updates, Rosalie, as I get them, okay? Right now, he's stable, he's fighting, and he's good, okay? So he needs your prayers of intercession to make a full recovery from this stroke. This lady is gathering people that will take one day and fast and pray the rosary for so many weeks. Like, I think it's like a month or 2 months at a time. So like for a month, for four Mondays, you pray and you fast. A rosary for Ken. I mean, it's not that difficult. I mean, I'm not eating that much anyway, so I don't really count. So if you can do that, please contact me. I need some more thumbs up so this video, can go around and people can understand and they can pray for Ken. And basically, I appreciate you. I love you. Ken loves you. And he will be back with us as soon as he can, I promise you. Deb is, if I could get her on tonight, but I don't know how to use the equipment yet, okay? So, pardon me, but I'm still learning. And I will figure things out. Thank you, Rosalie. We love you so much, so very much. As you know, strokes affect the brain. Oh, there's my Deb. There's my Deb. I will call, and Deb's going to be on the show with me next week. Oh, please pray ask the Dominican Sean to pray for him. His brain needs healing. The swelling needs to go down and stuff like that. He's stroke victims. I believe God's going to use him to continue to serve him. I believe that with all my heart. And I believe that your prayers are working miracles. So, like I said, updates later. We've already taken a good deal of space and time. Hi, love. Thank you, Deb. So, we're going to get on with the show. And tonight's show, Ken and I sat down. We laid out all these cool shows. And then boom, 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 boom. Easter happens. Then, boop. He decides to say, hey, honey, you get to do the show without me for a while. This is going to be hard. Thank you for bearing with me. Athena, I'm not going to be giving out details. If you want to email me or text me, I'd be glad to tell you a little bit more. But yes, Nikki, there is a prayer group, and you can contact Michelle or Deb about praying for him. And thank you, Michelle. That would be great. I will send people. Maybe we can have a group message, and we'll figure it out that way. Yes, Sean, I will ask the lady for a link. Now, tonight's topic. This is a really good topic because a lot of us, excuse me, I'm having my moment. Oh, Ken, we all love you so much and we miss you. You need to hurry up and get back. Tonight's topic is really near and dear to me. And as I was talking to Deb earlier, I wish I could get her in here, but next week we'll have Deb and we'll both be like dueling banjos in here and we'll figure it out. When you buy used items, you don't know what you're getting. And we all love used items. We all love bargains. We love to shop. We love to pick things up and think that we're getting something, a little extra for our money. And that's usually what happens with vintage items. A lot of times we fall in love. Hey, Miss Peggy, sweetie, love you too. A lot of times we get vintage items and we're not sure where they came from, the provenance. What part of the country, who had it before us, that sort of thing. So tonight, as we look at the potential that you might have an infested or haunted item, we're going to start with what are they? I mean, can you go to, let's say, can you go to your local Kmart or your Dollar Tree and possibly pick up a haunted item? Thank you, Santa Miguel. Thank you. Cheryl, you're from North Dakota. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to the Real Deal shows, I apologize for no bells and whistles tonight, kids, because, Ken can't be with us for a little bit. It's just going to be you and I slogging it out with Deb Johnson as soon as I can drag her in here. And we're going to have some fun. The demonologist and the diva survivor. Demonology lady, Deb, right? Deb, you're not going anywhere. So you can go into, let's see, the Dollar Tree. You can go to Kmart. How about if you go into Saks Fifth Avenue and you look at some of their beautiful crystal items in the showcase and you're like, wow, I'd love to have that for my wedding. I would love to have that for my anniversary. How do you know something like that is not tainted? Or how do you know? Thank you, Michelle. How do you know that something like that is not going to be a problem? You know, and we really don't. We're so trusting, and we think, okay, well, we're buying it brand new. There, how do you know the country of origin or the country of manufacture? How do you know that let's say it came from Vietnam, or let's say it came from India? How do we know it doesn't have somebody saying some sort of kundalini manifestations, asking it to raise people's chakras so that they love the product so much they want to buy it more? You don't know. And whether you were buying this incense at a head shop or you're buying it in a supposedly Christian store, how do you know? You really, really don't. And I think this goes back to some of our other shows, the very serious importance of always blessing your home and blessing the home that you live in and everything in it. And you just take holy water, sprinkle it. And you know what? Since I wrote this great book on how to bless your house, I'm going to go over that. Deb and I are going to talk about that because Deb and I do that all the time, okay? My, yes, you're a diva survivor, Dab, but you know you are. No, it's not inappropriate. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness gracious, Kim. Oh my gosh, I'm going to pray for you, sweetheart. Kim, we are definitely going to pray with you before this show's over, okay? So don't go anywhere and listen to me very carefully. If you want to contact me, I will help you with some prayers to help your husband, okay? Thanks, Tony. Yes, you know what? It's important for us as we walk through life to open our hands and hold each other's hands. Now, when you go out, you bring these items in your house, like I said, bless your home, bless the items, it's all good. I want to focus on those things that you go to an antique store for. I want to focus on those things that, let's say you go to a garage sale. This is the time of year, oh my gosh, everybody, I mean, including Ken, we love to get in the car and go, okay, let's go garage sailing. And then, we take our coffee and, grab nuts or whatever else we've got. And there we go, we're off on garage. I'm sure you guys do garage sales too, right? Kim, it's okay if you don't have Facebook, okay? I'm going to type my number, and you just text me, okay? And I will send you some prayers and medals, okay, sweetie? So here's my number, and I don't care if it's public or not. But hey, it's here, okay? Let's hope I can type and talk at the same time. So you're in the car, you're running around, and you see this great yard sale. Now, we did have other shows. Let's see, what's my number? 268. Is my number 5887? I hope so. If it's not, oh well, you'll figure it out and you'll figure out how to get me again, right? Okay, that's me. Haha, I got it. You pick up an item and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this. In previous shows, we did talk about the invitation of a place. This is when you study demonology or you study how, shall we say, lower level demonics work. The call. Remember the old cartoons of a little angel, a good angel on one shoulder, and then the bad angel going, no, do this, no, do that? Let me tell you something. Haunted, cursed items and property will do the same thing. It'll be right in your ear. You won't be able to avoid it, and you won't know where it came from. This is the whole reason. I like that, Steve. Dixiologist. If you have something that you absolutely can't live without, that you think, oh my gosh, I got to have this, it's time to step back and get your partner, get your girlfriend, get your neighbor, and say, what do I have this? Let me tell you something. The saints warn in just about every single book they write that if your desire is that strong for something, you got to step back because something isn't right about this picture. And the same goes for, we look to decorate our homes with beautiful items. And we look for clocks and watches and all kinds of things to hang on the wall. Some of those items may have had bad experiences. And some of them may be absolutely horrible. So we really, really, really want to be careful. And we really want to practice some equanimity, if I can say that word, about what we need and what we have to have. Because it's in this desire that we get caught up, and that's where the invitation begins. And that's why we're talking about, haunted items and haunted vintage items. I'm sorry, is the sound really buzzy and broken? How's that? Is that better, Ancestral? Maybe it's because I'm moving around so much. Thank you, Peggy. I appreciate it. And yes, there are specific items that Satanists tend to curse more than others. The funny thing is, and it's not necessarily clocks, and yes, it's definitely things that they not only think people will desire, it's what they know people will desire. Thank you for letting me know about the buzzing. It could be A, I've got Italian arias playing in the kitchen, or B, it could be just a bad mic, and I promise I'll change that by next week. So, as we look, and I'll address your question in a second, Tony, because I want to talk about that, because that's a really good question. Things that Satanists curse, because that goes with, along the lines of, how do we get our hands on them? Like I said, most of the haunted items, most of these things that I'm talking about, they're going to call to you because they've got something attached to them. That's why we call them haunted. Now, why? Let's just talk about the whys for a minute. Why would something get haunted? Why would anything be attached to any kind of item? Thank you, Tony, for letting me know. Thank you, sweeties. Thank you guys so much for letting me know the sound's okay. Why would you have, let's say, a vintage antique candle? Why would I be drawn to like veils? I love veils. Okay, I make a lot of veils. I don't have a lot listed in my shop right now, but things like this that are passed down through generations, a lot of times when we are in a garage sale, let's say you see a bird cage and you go up and you touch it like, oh, I just love this bird cage. There's nothing there other than your joy and your association with your love of a bird. You might be looking to chop some wood in your backyard and you see an axe. No, this is a really bad example, but you could like go up and see, wow, those are some really great tools. And then you pick it up and it feels awful. You don't want to touch it. You put it down. Yes, they do call to you. And Nikki, people don't think of it like that because it's not necessarily the item calling to you. It's the cockroaches around the item. It's like you have the item like this. This is the item, okay? And for whatever reason, this is a little difficult to explain in a little tiny nutshell. When we're talking about principalities and powers, angels and demons, they're allowed to have their own likes, their own dislikes, that sort of thing. So let's just say we have certain demons that know exactly the people that are going to like this item. Let's say this is sarsaparilla. Some kind of strange scent, sarsaparilla, right? What kind of person is going to like sarsaparilla? Probably somebody that has certain personality types that is more open to the potential for the suggestions they're going to be giving. See, it's difficult for us to think as, a nasty, tempting kind of entity. But once you think about the things that we're attracted to and that we just absolutely go, oh gosh, I got to have that, then you kind of see how, the demons get the invitation to the item. And it's very strange, but exactly, it's like a repulsion. And it's something that it's visceral. It can be felt because we are all in human. We're very visceral people. We can feel, we can hear. Demons know that. They take advantage of it. So just be careful when you go out. Be careful of what you desire, what you want, that you're not succumbing to something that you really shouldn't have in your house. And then if you basically feel that something is that strong and that, you've really got to have it that bad, what we need to do is we need to take like a bigger look and say, okay, if I really got to have it, I better get it blessed, because that is going to be your number one thing to do, is getting something blessed. That way you have no problem bringing it in your house and keeping it. We'll talk about the next step later. Okay, so how does it get in your house, and why the heck, Now, the reason that you might pick up a bird cage, a dress, a ring, any common item that could be potentially haunted, when we talk about why it might be, we've got a few videos on that, but Deb and I are going to go over some things, because this is going to lead into our next show. You've got an item that, for whatever reason, was coveted by a lower level demon, mid-level demon, higher level demon. And for whatever reason, this demon decided to go and be with you with the item. How do we know this? Well, we know this because of your reaction to it when you finally get it home. The item, people are going to be arguing and angry, and they are not going to be in any kind of good mood at all around these items. So if the item, let's say you bought the item for a gift, the person buying it might even have just this horrible reaction, say, ooh, just get that thing away from me. Or they might have just an instant negative reaction, oh, I like it, why don't you keep it? That's a good one. Why don't you keep it? Also, when you think about, you have no idea the provenance or the history of an item. The item has come to you, sale, gift, what have you, and the item itself might have either like Tony was saying, it might have been consecrated in an occult act, which is really, really, really bad. It might have been used in a crime, which is another thing that people don't always understand, that when crimes are committed, something very, very violent happens, it draws demons, like blood and a hound. So when you've got that kind of act and demons are attracted, this is not a good thing. Okay, well, Nikki, it's not so much they attach to an item and they don't go in and out of it. They stay by it to watch us and pester us. The demons don't enter us or the item. The demons follow the item. They hold on to it. They covet it. They like it. They surround it. And anyone that has to have it is competition, okay? It's competition for their attachment. And no, they are not trapped in the item. No, nothing like a genie, okay? When we talk about something obsessing over an item, because a demon can't possess a candle or a door or a clock. What it does is it obsesses over it, and any human that covets it, the demon knows, is open to that potential infestation that only that demon can give it, because it wants what it wants. Is that pretty clear? So it's not so much the demon entering and leaving. It is the obsession that causes an oppression with another human. So I hope that cleared that up a little bit. Also, what we have is negative acts, like I said, intentional acts, occult acts. And this comes to Tony's question about specific things such as, what do Satanists, how do they pick and choose things to, shall we say, make these items available to people that will potentially harm them? First of all, Tony, I want to tell people, I don't want people afraid out there of buying anything or looking at things. I do not want you fearful that, a Satanist can cast a spell on some simple item and they bring it in their door, and all of a sudden they're going to be possessed or obsessed. It doesn't happen that way. Grace from God blocks most of this stuff. And many of these items that you may or may not come in contact with, these things are, at best going to give you a stomach ache, a headache, make people fight. And if you return to grace, you bless your heart, it's all gone. It's all gone. That's the beautiful thing about that. And I don't want people worried about that. No, they do not have bodies, Tony. Exactly. They are not technically in a place. They choose according to the saints. Demons are out of time. We are in the space called time. When demons are given permission, they watch and they choose families. They choose lines. And they are there with those families. Those groups and those little legions of demons follow. And they oppress specific men, specific girls, specific children. And they are, for whatever reason, allowed to tempt them, through objects, through whatever means necessary that they've been allowed to do. So when you have these items, it's best, if there's any question whatsoever, let's just take everything, douse it in holy water, get rid of it. And exactly, Dawn, people have a lot of beliefs about purchasing statues. And I will tell you, Dawn, this, when we were talking earlier with Tony about, when he was asking some of the things that Satanists do, religious statues are a favorite of them, especially angels and little fairies that sit in your garden, and they're so sweet and they're so innocent and everybody loves them. So what do you want to do? Number one, I'd shake the thing and see if there's anything in it. A lot of things that come from other countries may have what appears to be, like, if you break it, a little charm inside of it. It may come with, it's called a familiar, like a little witch's familiar or something like that. I would make sure, we'll talk about Freemason rings in a minute, okay, Tina? What we're looking at here, though, is we're looking at items that are created, that are so sweet, that you place in your garden. We're talking about Mary statues. We're talking about items that, it's okay, Nikki. It's okay. You can have a priest come over and bless it for you anytime. Invite him over for coffee. Exactly. Make sure her feet are showing too, Sean. I agree. I'm talking about simple statues that you love, that you put in your garden, and you're going to enjoy. I'd shake them. Make sure there's nothing in it whatsoever. And then douse them with some holy water. Better yet, like Nikki was saying, I've got a Mary statue, I didn't get it blessed. That's a perfect opportunity for you to have your pastor over and say, hey, have some coffee. I just made some donuts. I just made some finger sandwiches. Oh, while you're here, would you go in my backyard and bless? Oh, and by the way, here, I've got some exercised holy water. There's always an opportunity, and we have to find those opportunities. All right, guys? Let's take them where we get them. Now, Carolyn, it's very, very important, because a lot of times Satan has been able to use the image of Mary to get people to do some very, very not so nice things. But guess what? In these visions, Mary's feet were hidden. And why are Mary's feet important? It's all tied up at the crucifixion, where she waited at the foot of the cross, right there. Her feet were visible. His feet were visible. There was something very, very, very holy about her feet. And so when we talk about these visions, that's kind of one of the discerning points. Oh, yes, exactly. If it's a small statue, just bring it to Mass. I agree. Thanks for that suggestion, Tony. That's perfect. And I think that it's perfectly appropriate. Or bring it in your car and ask Father, could you please walk over to my car with me? That's another easy one. Usually Father has a few minutes to do that. That's only takes a minute. So as we look at these items, okay, so we looked at What are they? Where do you find them? Um, why? Why do demons like them? That kind of thing. Just because they can. That's the hardest thing to understand is because they can. So now we want to say, hey, how do I tell? How do I go shopping and look? Okay, we'll go over the whole mason rings, apron, etc., etc. The question earlier was, can you tell me a little bit about these items? Number one, don't mess with anything Masonic. If you have Freemasons in your history, if you have Eastern Star, DeMolay, Rainbow Girls, anything like that, do specific breaking curses prayers directed towards Freemasons. What you want to worry about is the Masonic hold is it's a cult. It's satanic. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people think, it's not really that big of a deal. You'll believe that until you start someday looking at patterns of problems or why certain things are happening. You don't even want to touch these things. It's just like anything else that is cursed. If you know that you're looking at a goat head and it's got blood on it and feathers and it's sitting on a table, you're not going to walk up to it and touch it and go, what is this? You shouldn't do that with anything Masonic. Even curiosity is one of those number one things that demons use to get you to play along. And that curiosity, we all have that curiosity, okay? Every single one of us, we're curious. What I have a problem with and what God has a problem with is, okay, we get curious. 1. 2, go the other way, look away. Don't do it. And that goes with just about anything that is satanic, invitational, demonic. We want to do our best just to say, oh, that's nice, I saw it. I can unsee this now. I don't have to see this. So if you don't touch it, I'm not saying that you're going to get infested if you touch it. When we give in to that little bit of invitation out of curiosity, they're sitting right there watching us. You're going to get another temptation. We don't need that, okay? We don't need that. We don't want it. It's not good at all. So anything, that's right. Eve was curious too. Good point, Nikki, and that rings so true. We must be careful because all invitation that leads us anywhere except to the foot of the cross, where's it going to lead you? End of story, morning glory. We got to look. And we can't always close our eyes. We can't always take custody of our eyes. We are going to see things we enjoy. God wants us to have what we enjoy. He wants us to have things that bring us joy and bring us happiness. So what would you do with a Freemason ring passed down to you from your family? I would contact my church, and I would contact the office of the exorcist, such as Ken and I work for the office of the exorcist. You'd contact us, and we would make an appointment. We would take your information, and we would talk with you and ask you some basic questions. We would consult with our exorcist and find out a good time, and we would make sure that we gave you the opportunity, to be blessed, have your home blessed, and do some prayers regarding the item, depending on what you have, because certain things used in Freemasonry are a little bit, shall we say, more evil than others. Rings they're believed to be sources of power. They're insignias. And you'll have every Freemason say, oh, a ring is nothing. It's just something pretty you hold on your hand. No. A ring to a Freemason is a bond. It is a bond. It is a pact. It is a covenant, okay? So keeping a covenant, if you have a safety deposit box, I'd put it in a safety deposit box and I'd call my church and say, hey, I got this thing. The pins, Athena, as far as on a scale of 1 to 10, no, don't bury it. You know, you can wrap it up in hamburger grease or whatever and like get it outside your house, you know, hang it off something, a tree or whatever. Just get it away from your main environment. I would call your priest because you need to make sure that it's disposed of properly. Pins, Athena, are not, they don't carry the weight. All right. When we're talking about a cult and occult activity, a pin is something more of a badge. A pin is more of you're good. You're absolutely, you're coming along in the disposition of what we want you to do in obedience to this order and this occult activity. Yes, Michelle, praying to Saint Raphael is really wonderful. It's not going to take the curse off the item, and whoever was in charge of that, depending on her power and level of authority in the household, is not going to really help her get rid of it, as opposed to a priest finding out the authority in her specific position, where she is, where the ring came from, so that they can stop and interrupt the authority right then and there. Pins, as far as authority goes, you really don't have to worry about it. I would definitely ask a priest to intercede to help you get rid of it, because you don't want to take a chance that, other than saying your Freemason, you know, the Masonic breaking curses prayers, you don't want to take a chance that for whatever reason anything is allowed to stay. Exactly. Dog poop is really good, Rosalie. Rings are a lot more dangerous. Aprons are like satanic daggers. You don't burn those. You make sure that a priest gets his hand on those and definitely takes care of that. Okay. So, well, you know what, Athena, there's nothing you really can do about your mom keeping the pen. I would pray, because this is interesting. Because you're her child, you can pray prayers for her. You may not have direct authority to intervene there, but you can pray prayers that her eyes will be open. You can pray prayers that she will see the harm that this is doing, and make sure we can pray that, you know, she can get rid of it. Yeah, we can pray those prayers. I agree. But the thing of it is if you don't have any authority and you stick your nose in where it doesn't belong, you can get in a lot of trouble. So we don't want to overstep our authority, especially if we don't have any faculties to say those prayers for somebody. So, you know, it's really, really difficult. And I don't want you to think that just because, you know, you come in contact with a pen that, you know, stabs somebody in the neck, you're not going to get infested or haunted. But are you going to have nightmares? Are you going to get in an argument with somebody? I can't tell you that. But if you are, let's look at what just came in the house. Did you bring a rocking chair in the house? Did you bring just say, you know, you got a new little hat because you needed a great little hat to go gardening in? Where'd it come from? Who wore it? You know, did the woman have a history of, you know, doing something horrible to her children? Did she drown a child? We just don't know, okay? And that is the case of, you just don't know. We bless everything. So a person as a Freemason family, is the best to have your exorcist pray over you and help break anything, always. I think, Michelle, it never hurts, because that's what priests are there for. There is no reason why you can't tell your priest, look, I've got this history in my family. You can broach it in confidence in the confessional. You can make an appointment, but don't do it on a Saturday, please, folks. You got 200 people waiting in line and they got like 3 minutes. Please call the office, get an appointment. And if you're worried, saying, oh, well, my priest isn't going to do this, he doesn't want to do this, okay, what you do is you bring your little book with you and say, excuse me, I really need your help. Can you please pray these prayers? Don't take no for an answer, okay? Don't take no for an answer. And basically, it never hurts. Get your prayers, get them taken care of, and you shouldn't have a problem. I just want you to remember that, hi, yeah, any time. I'm so glad to see all of you. You guys are such a blessing. So, yes, Nikki, the little girl's mother kept her cat's ashes. You know, a lot of people keep ashes, okay? A lot of people keep ashes. This is very dangerous and very invitational. And why is it dangerous? Remember what I said at the beginning of the hour, kids? Coveting things. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and my experience, all right? And then you guys take it to your prayer closet and you say, okay, do I really want to do this? Do I really need to do this? Exactly. We always speak the truth. We always speak the truth in love. But you cannot force somebody. You know, leading the horse to water, drowning him, how did that help him? So we just don't do that. And I understand that, yes, he must be buried properly and he must be blessed. He must be blessed. Why? Because the blessing seals that special bit of flesh. What did Christ create in us? Souls and flesh, okay? What do demons want? What they can't have. They want what we like. So you have to remember this little tiny bit of flesh, whether it is your dog, your mother. A lot of people, they're having diamonds made out of their loved ones. What the heck is wrong with this picture? Don't do that, please. Please don't do that. But people are having made it into everything. It's like, oh, I've got a dead body. I'm just going to make it into, I don't know. People are having their dogs made into everything. This is a form of necromancy. This is the only way I can say it. Necromancy. What is it? It is a form of invitation to lower level demonics to constantly pester you and make you sad about something you no longer have. It will cause you sadness, bouts of depression, bouts of outbursts, anger. When we love, yes, pet ashes, isn't that amazing to think about? You just don't think about it. You don't think, well, geez, you know, my pet was so sweet and I got so much joy. Good. Put a monument. Get a little urn. Bury them in the backyard. Bury some little tulips. And every year they come up, oh, there's my sweet little Muffy baby. I loved my Muffy bear. Bury his bones. Bury it, seal it. End of story. Don't wear it. Don't live with it. What we bind on earth, we bind in heaven. What we let loose on earth, kids, guess what? The demonics, they come flying by and go, oh, she's wearing her dog. Or, oh, there's her daughter on the mantle. What can we do with it? It's invitational. Sorry, going off here, kids. So let's be very, very careful about what ashes we allow in our house, what the reason is that we do allow, and let's keep everything blessed and sealed because we must be careful. Oh, good night, Kim Sassman. I'm so glad. Please contact me. I'm going to be praying for you tonight, okay? God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. And, you know, we're about to wrap this up on the top, okay? Yes, Nikki, I had someone that had basically had pets on the fireplace. Guess what? About 2 years after those ashes were there, the place had to have a minor rite because... And this wasn't the animal's fault. It wasn't the person's fault. She didn't know. Whatever it was that she decided to invite in. And this is something you really need to be careful with, okay, kids? This is something nobody thinks of, but please take note, pay attention. How do you know the ashes you got are your pet? How do you know that they're the relative? How do you know that your beloved pet or your child, did you watch that person get put on that baking pan? I'm sorry to be crude. Did you watch that person go in there and come out? Was it clean? Was there nothing else? No trace of teeth, no trace of hair. How do you know a mass murderer wasn't burnt on the same tray and mixed in with those ashes? You tell me that. Can't. You can't. And unless you saw it, unless you watched it, unless you scrubbed that clean, unless you had a priest, just basically hitting it with the holy water, and then the body was put in there, you can't tell me those ashes aren't mixed with anything else. Okay? So, we want to be very careful with ashes. That's right. That's what I'm saying, Sean. People's ashes get mixed up. Animal ashes get mixed up with human. And they give you a jar of ashes. How do you know? You don't know. You don't know. I mean, most funeral directors and homes and everything, they're beautiful people and they're wonderful and they're doing their best. Do they clean the tray off every time? I'm sure they'll tell you, oh, yes, we're very sterile. We follow OSHA standards. We follow HEPA standards. Oh, yes. And when those people come around, I bet you it's really clean and it really looks good. But when nobody's looking and there's 6 bodies coming in, I'm just saying, humans are lazy. Guilty. We like to believe the best. All right? We love to believe the best. It doesn't always work that way. Exactly. What about these people on the Last Judgment when your soul is reunited with your body and you've got a sackcloth of ashes? That's why Catholics, we don't burn bodies. We don't do it. I mean, a lot of times they will, but precisely. Thank you, Deb, for pointing that out. They will not turn the oven on for one animal because it's too expensive. Because the temperature, exactly, you and I both know about funeral homes. We could do a show about funeral homes, Deb. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But it's not funny. They're right. They won't just say, oh, I've got little Fifi and Fifi's 10 pounds. Sure, I'll, run up my electric, my gas, everything. I'll run up this bill, $500, whatever it costs to run that, just for your little tiny dog that you're paying what, $150 for? No, not going to happen. That's why you just don't walk in. I know it does seem kind of pagan, doesn't it, Richard? Because there is no value to the beauty of ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And yes, God can, of course, resurrect the body. We just don't. It's not common for Catholics to burn themselves. And that's true. They did choose cremation to deny the teachings of the church. We just have to be very, 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 very careful with ashes, please. Ashes, they're best in graveyards. They're best in consecrated graves. They're best blessed by priests. Okay, kids, please, please, please get them blessed. Have a special place for them. Don't put them in your house. Don't get them made into rings. Don't make them into earrings. Ashes are not really good. Yes, it is a mass cremation for animals. That's what they do. And then, they take a little scoop and they put it in a vial and go, here's your poodle. Here's a scoop. Oh, wait a second. This one was a shepherd. We need 2 scoops for the shepherd. Oh, wait, we need 3 scoops for the mastiff, so we take 3 scoops. It's really sad what they do. But they have to do it. Oh, I know. It's hard to decide. It's really, really, really hard. So you worked in a funeral home for 3 years on the weekends? Yeah. And they only did the entombment. Yeah. All funeral homes are different. And most funeral home directors I know, and I've talked to, they're very, very good people. We just have to be really careful. Yeah, Nikki, I'll talk to Deb. We can probably get a funeral show together. That would be really good. Ken's going to laugh when he sees it. Exactly, Sean, and that was traditional Catholic Church. The only time that they would approve any cremation was something that was so vile inside the body that it needed to be destroyed. That was totally it. Oh gosh, yeah, but that kind of stuff happens. sometimes things happen, and we go through stages in our life, where we have to have the ashes in our house, or we have to have ashes around us. God understands that. But to choose, just to have it, without a care, without a thought, that's a little invitational. It just scares me. Yeah, society does make you feel like you have to be cremated, um, because it costs so much to get buried. And, cremating animals is totally fine, because the beauty of animals is they get to go to heaven automatically. They don't have to go where we're going. They don't have to jump through hoops like we do. And it's the top of the hour, kids, and it's about time to say good night, sleep tight. So I want to thank you all and tell you what a blessing you are, and tell you how much Ken loves you and needs your care, your prayers, and support. Contact Michelle Ann on Facebook. There's a private group that will be praying for him and offering him, uh, rosaries, chaplets, whatever. We need him back, because my tech stuff sucks. Okay, excuse me, I said that bad. But we want to remind you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The battle's already been won, and don't you dare forget it, okay? Because we know who's in charge, and we know it's won. So you have nothing to fear, nothing to worry about any of this stuff. Bless yourself, bless your house, bless your pets. I bless my pet, okay? My pet almost died of chocolate ingestion. I poured holy water on that dog, down the throat, anointed oil. Never, 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 never be ashamed to bless yourself. And if your friends want help, bless them too. Yes, thank you, Athena. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carolyn, Dawn, Colin, Santo, Bree Clark, and Peggy. Love you, sweetie. Thank you, dear Deb, Spa Diva. Yes, Barb, we need your prayers desperately. And guess what? Hopefully we'll have a couple little bells and a couple little whistles next week, and Deb's going to help us. Thank you so much, Tony. Prayers for your dear, sweet mom. And I want to let you know, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for bearing with me tonight. This is really, really, really tough to do. Really tough to do. And I thank you. It's because of you that I'm here, because I'm slugging it out. Ken wants me to. God bless you. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Michelle. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And the real deals will be back next week. Bye now.